All right, y'all, welcome back to Philly D's Garage. So today we got the LS400 in the garage. So I've been chasing a lean code on this car for a long time now. So I don't know if I want to say I've been chasing it, because it's more like every time I pull a car in and I got time to look at it or whatever, I sit there and try to figure out what's going on. So I did already put the EVAP machine on this car. I done did a few things trying to figure out where my lean code is coming from. So I went on Google and I looked up a few things, and some people were saying that the solenoids on these cars can cause that code, which is here, and the other one is right here. So they saying that the solenoids can cause a lean code without actually setting the code, or it can set a lean condition without setting a code for the solenoids themselves. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. So I figured, since I don't have an actual code for the sensors, I'm not going to change them. I'm just going to take them out and clean them or whatever and put them back in. So I figured I'll make a video of how to remove and replace the solenoids while I'm at it. So now over time, I've been looking for this code. So there are some things that I've done over time to this car. Now before I forget, I've already started taking off the intake stuff, which is right here. It's the intake, the trim, and you got the engine cover right there. So while I'm at it, this part of this intake, what I did was I just swung it up right here instead of taking it all the way off from the throttle body. But on this intake here, you got a few hoses that run on here that you have to disconnect. So you got a couple hoses running down to your power steering control valve, and then you got a couple hoses back here on top of your intake, and you got a hose that's running from your PCV valves on the valve cover. So one repair that I have done was right here on this intake. There's a nipple right here that's running over to this hose right here. But at some point I realized this was loose, and so all I did was I got a little nipple and I JB welded it in there so I could put the hose back on. But that in itself was causing a lean code, or a lean condition, because it was sucking air in right there where it's not supposed to. So real quick, this is your mass airflow sensor right here. So it sits right here. So if there's any air coming into your car, into your engine, other than coming through past this sensor right here, will cause a lean code. All right, so being as though I had a leak up here, you know, I don't know if it was ever contributing to the check engine light, but it was air getting through here, and it wasn't going through here first past this sensor. That's your mass airflow sensor. So all the air has to go past this sensor first before it goes into your engine. So if you can clean this while you got it off with some mass airflow cleaner. And again, before you start going anywhere else, check all these hoses first. See, this car is an older car, so it has vacuum hoses everywhere. You know, all of these are vacuum hoses. All right, so you got to check all the vacuum hoses first before you assume anything else. So again, that's why I use my EVAP machine to smoke it to see if I had any leaks. I couldn't find any leaks. So I'm going to try what I read on Google, which was replacing these solenoids, but I'm not going to replace them. Like I said, I'm just going to clean them. And I wanted to show you guys how to get it out if this is the route that you choose to take. So with the trim out the way, On this side, it appears that this solenoid is a straight shot to get out. You got the connector right here, and you got the 10 mil right here, and this is the solenoid that we're gonna slide out. And the only thing that appears to be in the way of getting that out is this wire harness right here. And there's a 10 millimeter bolt right there that's holding that bracket on, and then we should be able to move this hose out the way. We can slide that solenoid out. Now on this side, you can't get to this without moving that trim out the way. So we got the trim out the way. Now here's the 10 mil right here. Here's the connector. Now only thing I don't know, I don't think this is going to come out without moving this throttle body and this throttle position sensor first. So, but I haven't taken these off yet, so I'm gonna take this off, see how far they come out, and if we got to take the throttle body off, then we will. And obviously, if you got the throttle body off, you might as well clean it. So let's see how that works out. All right, y'all. So took the bolt from out of both of the solenoid sensors, and this side appears to look like it'll probably slide out. I took the bolt off the nut that was down there holding in this harness, so it looks like this solenoid will slide right out. It's halfway out right there. So surprisingly, both of these solenoids slid out with no problem. So both sides did that. They just slid out just like this. So usually when you take these solenoids off, don't matter what type of car it is, usually you gotta pry them up a little bit to get them out, but these just slid off. It's kind of crazy. First of all, this is not gonna come out without taking this off, so as y'all can see. But I wanted to make a note, if your connector breaks, taking these connectors off, that's normal for Toyotas. Like I don't know why, they just get brittle, and if they've never been off, more than likely it will break when you go to take it off. But when you plug it back up, just push it back on there and make sure it's firmly on there and it will hold. It won't come off. If you're really worried about it, you can zip tie it or tape it up or something, but usually they'll snap back in and they'll hold in. But it always happens on Toyotas and Lexus, those connectors break. This side fortunately didn't break. I was able to just press down on it and pull it out, and it didn't break. Now I forgot to tell y'all, when y'all taking off these hoses, whether it's this intake hose or like these little vacuum hoses, whatever, to get that intake off, you can use something like this. These little hose pliers, whatever you want to call it. This will allow you to get up underneath the hose and, you know, pry the hose off, and that'll help you get it out. So, because these hoses are pretty difficult to get off. So yeah, so this solenoid is going to come off, so I'm gonna get that off and clean that out. But this one looked like it's not going to come out. So if you're taking off this solenoid on this side, you're going to have to take off the throttle body, or you can take off this pedal position sensor. I think I called it the throttle position sensor earlier, but it's actually the pedal position sensor. I think I got a video on that too. I could put a link in the description for that. And the throttle position sensor is actually over here, up in there. Look like 4 12mm bolts, and I think this whole piece will come off. So I think we need a 12. Let's grab a 12 real quick, and bet you those bolts is tight. Let's get a long extension. So yeah, man, I've been chasing this, trying to figure out where this leak's been at for a while. So hopefully this is the problem. But so you just want to go around. They're not real tight, y'all. Go around, get it on there. Snap all these bolts off. I'm just breaking them loose now with this, and then I'm gonna run them off with the my 1/4 inch over there. All right, so you don't want to drop those nuts under there. All right, so it looks like this cable here is going to be in the way of taking the throttle assembly off. Now we only need a little bit of room so we can slide this solenoid out. So that's not going to come off. So look like this, we got a bracket right here, so we could get this nut and that nut, and then hopefully this bracket will slide out the way real quick. I think those are 12 millimeters also. They like, get extension, Philly D. All right, so we're gonna grab a small 1/4 inch extension. Where they be at? Holy crap. I know I don't have to bring out this big, tall. All right, that's what we gotta do. Get in there, get up over that. Oh, and I dropped the nut. Of course I dropped the nut. I get this one. All right. All right, y'all. So I got the throttle body assembly just moved back just enough. And now you can just slide the solenoid out. All right, so this is the first solenoid, so it don't look too bad, but obviously the valves in there are so small you can't tell if it's sticking or not. But like I was wondering, I was like, you know, when they mentioned the solenoids, I'm like, you know, there's no lights, no nothing, you know, is it really affecting, could it really affect my lean code? But I guess it could, because these valves control the timing of your valves. So if these are over advanced or under advanced, or for whatever reason, because they're clogged or slightly not intermittently not working, you know, that can cause, I would imagine, a lean or a rich cold. You know what I mean? So even though it's not causing a check engine light, so it came out pretty easy, which is surprising. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean it out real quick. You know, it'd be better if you probably put like power and ground to it and make the valves open and close while you're cleaning it, so you can get more in there. But I don't know. I mean, I change the oil on this car pretty often. So, you know, I'd be surprised if those solenoids are actually the problem. So this will slide out with that harness out the way. So I'm just, you know, it won't hurt to try it out. You know what I mean? So if I clean these out and it actually fixes my issue, then we good. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So, but yeah, that's how you remove the variable solenoids on the LS400. You simply got to move the throttle body out the way to get this side out. or you can take off this pedal position sensor to get it out. And on this side, all you got to do is remove this bracket to move this harness out the way, and that solenoid will slide out. So you put it back in the same way that you took it off. Pretty simple. But what I would recommend though is, before you go this far, just make sure all your vacuum hoses are in good condition, they're intact. Check your PCV valves. Make sure there's no other issues with your car before you go that far as wanting to change your solenoids. But and make sure your mass airflow sensor is reading correctly. If you got a scanner, you can hook your scanner up and check your mass airflow sensor that way. If you see anything other than like 4.5 grams per second, you know something's wrong with your mass airflow sensor, because this engine is a 4.0 liter engine. So on your mass airflow reading, you shouldn't see no more than like anywhere between 4 and maybe 4.5 grams of air per second. So that's how your mass airflow sensors read. But yeah, I mean, before you, don't just go and replace your solenoids if they don't need to be replaced. Like I said, I'm just taking them out to clean them, just to give it a try, because that's what I read up on Google. And I figured I'd show you guys how to remove your solenoid. So yeah, if you like the video, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.